So, guys, down by 59th and Loomis, there's a set of GDs down there, and don't quote me on this, but I think it's one particular section of No Love City that I've done a lot of videos on back in the day in my old channels. But the whole area around there is like No Love City is a pretty big area, but that particular section over by 59th and Loomis is called GBG, and like I said, I think it's part of No Love City, but I'm not sure. With the younger generations, these sets are always changing, but they have one particular member named Trello. And about 3 years ago, during the riots that had erupted in the aftermath of George Floyd's killing that summer, if you guys remember, there was a lot of upheaval, a lot of rioting, looting, protests. Some of them were peaceful protests going on. There was a huge spike in crime during that time, and that one particular member, Trello, had been involved in an incident with CPD. In the aftermath of the incident, a lot of information that was incorrect about what had happened had gotten out, and it had sparked another round of looting. Now, the second round of looting, it really, I wouldn't say it was related to the first round. It wasn't related to like George Floyd or anything. It was related to what supposedly had happened to Trello. But all the details about him were incorrect, and all the details about what had happened were incorrect. And this misinformation had spread like wildfire on social media. It was somewhat similar to the misinformation that it had spreading about one particular incident, talking about like a pregnant black woman had been stabbed by like some Mexicans or something, and that was all false. Like none of it happened. There was no pregnant woman or anything like that. Now there were some other incidents that were going on that were real, but that wasn't one of them. And anyways, my point is there was a lot of misinformation being circulated on social media, and this one particular incident had sparked looting with Trello from GBG. So anyways, he now has basically gotten in a lot of trouble with the courts for what really happened. So we're going to go over what really happened that day. And this was on August 9th, 2020. A spark of misinformation about the man shot by Chicago police ignited a night of widespread looting along the Magnificent Mile. This is according to CWB Chicago. And also in the Loop and in the neighborhood retail quarters across the city. So the misinformation the Chicago Police Department, then Superintendent David Brown, blamed for the uprising were inaccurate social media claims that the police had shot a 15-year-old boy. So they were just recovering from, the looting that had happened in the aftermath of the George Floyd riots. But the rumors turned into direct calls for looting in the downtown area, and by that night, a rampage was underway, they said. So the Chicago cops had not shot a 15-year-old. They had instead shot a 20-year-old, and his name is Latrell, but like I said, his street name is Trello, after he had fired shots at them. So they were returning fire, and the officers responded to calls of a man with a gun in Moran Park, and they saw him nearby. Now, the area where he was at by 57th and Aberdeen, that I'm pretty sure is No Love City too, so I don't think he was in ops territory. I don't know about what GBG has going on with like the broader No Love City gang, you know what I'm saying? So I can't speak on that specifically. But anyways, he ran and the police chased him into an alley where he fired at least 8 shots at them. Okay, now the Civilian Office of Police Accountability found the 2 officers who shot Trello that afternoon acted within the department's guidelines after he opened fire on them while running away. So a jury needed less than 3 hours to convict Trello on 4 counts of attempted murder and 4 counts of aggravated discharge of a firearm earlier this year. So today, I'm not sure if this was actually today or yesterday, the judge sentenced him to 60 years. And that is surprising because, like I had said, that other guy, the circumstances were somewhat different, but that other guy had just busted a shot at the police and got released on electronic monitoring. Now, what he's going to get at trial, I don't know. But anyways, 40 years he got for attempted murder plus 20 years for personally discharging a firearm during the crime. And that's crazy, man. 60 years. Like, I've seen some guys get less time for that for an actual body. But, because none of the cops were hit by his shots. So, man, that's crazy, man. 60 years. In some other states, maybe it wouldn't be crazy, but here, you guys know the laws have been really soft. But firing 8 shots at the police, that's a lot. Like 8 shots, that's not, the other guy had only fired 1 shot. And I don't know if the other guy was in dealing with the cops that were in plain clothes or not. So, anyways, that's according to the clerk records. So there's a guy named James who, he's the guy that officials accused of promoting the riots. He received a 15-month federal prison sentence in May of 2022 for inciting and participating in a riot. So the federal judge also ordered him to pay $185,000 in restitution. So he asked on a video, he said, quote, "Y'all ready?" And he allegedly posted it on social media using the name Steve Nash. He said, "I sent everybody the location to link up at, bro. I'm trying to get something. I need to hit a couple of stores." So another video, he said that he personally ain't missing out. "I'm ready to steal." So you guys heard what he said. He said, I need to hit up a couple of stores. But anyways, thousands of people looted and rioted in the Magnificent Mile, through the Loop, and in neighborhood retail corridors in the hours following his online plea. So who knows if it was just because of him or if it would have happened anyways. They may be putting too much on him. But anyways, Chicago police arrested over 100 people as looting and riots spread through the city's downtown retail corridors that night. 2 people, including a store security guard, were shot during the riot. So the other shooting victim that night was a 20-year-old man. He got shot while driving away from a man who tried to carjack him. Over in the downtown area in the 200 block of South Wabash, another gunman fired shots at police in the Loop that night. Those officers returned fire, but the gunman escaped. 13 police officers were injured, including one who was struck by a bottle. Another cop's nose was broken. So that same guy who had allegedly started the riot, although I kind of disagree that he bears the full responsibility of starting that riot. But anyways, they're putting a lot of it on him. He landed in hot water again shortly after serving his federal sentence. On June 5th of this year, Chicago police pulled him over for not wearing a seatbelt over in the 1100 block of West 59th. So the officers that they saw reach toward the floorboard and stick his hand out the window as they approached. According to prosecutors, a loaded 9mm handgun was found under the driver's seat, and he's currently out on bail fighting allegations of being a felon in possession of a firearm. So while his federal case was pending, he tried to buy a gun at a gun store in Hammond, Indiana. Prosecutors said that in a sentencing memorandum last year. In addition to not having permission to leave the state, he also provided false information on a federal form as he tried to buy the Taurus Armus pistol, including claims that he lived in Indiana and was not under federal indictment. So when the feds, are watching you, okay, bro, they know like what drawer you keep your t-shirts. I mean, they know everything. These guys are watching you like a hawk. You can't do stuff like this. Like all this stuff, these gun applications and stuff, this stuff is all going to go through the feds. And they're going to see everything. Like these guys know everything. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, the gun store rejected his purchase because a background check found that he was under the federal indictment. So federal prosecutors moved to revoke his federal pretrial release after the Indiana indictment, but did not charge him with any wrongdoing. So you can have your bond revoked, if you do something like that with the feds. And then you can, get locked up, I think in the MCC, I'm not sure, until trial. And the feds can sometimes take a long time to get to trial, like years. So I don't recommend doing that. But anyways, Trello gets 60 years, and that's just crazy, man. Like that, to me, honestly, that's kind of too high, given the fact that no cops were injured, because who knows if he was actually aiming for them or just trying to, send them off by shooting in the air. But attempted murder of a cop, that's what he got, man. Now, I don't know if he can get 50% reduction for that. I don't know. But if he doesn't, he won't get out until he's in his 80s. Bro, that's crazy, man. So you guys let me know what you think in the comment section, man. This could just be a split-second decision, to lands you in there for 60 years. That's how it goes, man. I don't know what else to say. I feel bad for him, but, that's the rules of the game. It's your boy, Chicago News. I'm out.